Hello and welcome to Aging Matters. This is a show that is provided by and sponsored by the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. My name is Ann Barlet. I'm the Public Advocacy and Outreach Manager for the agency. Our show today is entitled Let Go of Crap, It's Good for Your Heart. And why we chose that is the month of February. We kind of are in the new year and we're thinking of what we can do for this new year. Maybe set a resolution to do some things for ourselves. And looking at February, we kind of commercially celebrate love and romance, and it's also, heart healthy month. So combining that, we're going to be talking about decluttering, because let's go of your crap, it's good for your heart. And my guest today is Vali Heist, who is the owner of the Clutter Crew and is a professional organizer and book author of Organize This, Practical Tips, Green Ideas, and Ruminations About Your Crap. So welcome, thank you, Vali.
Thank you so much, Ann.
And I know Let Go of Your Crap is really an acronym. And what does that stand for?
CRAP is an acronym for clutter that robs anyone of pleasure. So if it's getting in your way, if it's something that you find out you really don't need in your home, it's probably crap.
Okay, and I like that, your pleasure, because I think it's great to talk about in February with feeling good, being good to ourselves.
Absolutely.
That whole love yourself, and I think lightening kind of our load a little in the new year with decluttering.
I always say to my clients, every time you put something away in its home, it's a gift to yourself. Because if you don't put it in its home and there's no one else doing it, or no one else is taking your lead, then it's going to be on your shoulders later on, and maybe not just for a second, but for a lot of minutes. So, every time you put something away, it's a gift to yourself.
Okay, well then let's be good to ourselves and give us a lot of gifts.
Okay, sounds good.
So I wanted to start with, there has been some discovery, probably some research, I'll use that word lightly, as far as important either facts or effects of one or on one when they, in a sense, get organized or declutter. Can you share that? I was surprised by some of the things that I read in preparation.
I think a lot of my clients call me because they are getting to the point where their stuff is starting to really bother them and it's getting in the way of their life. They're losing things. They can't find what they want when they want it now. And that really causes stress. When you're running out the door and you're looking for something and it's not there. The kids want something and you haven't prepared what you wanted for them. You can't find what they need. So, and a lot of that depends upon organization and where you can find your stuff. So if you can give yourself a break and take some time to declutter, that would help you find the things you need and not push past the things you don't need in order to find what you do need. So it does help with stress, very much so, very much. And there has been research done to help folks declutter and reduce their stress and maybe start something new in their life that they've been looking to start, but they can't do it until they've decluttered.
Well, I know that I've read that you kind of feel a little bit more weighed down with all of that. And we're not talking necessarily about hoarding or lots of piles and junk, but just a lot of stuff that seemed to us maybe disorganized.
Right.
And I think it weighs you down. And once that's organized, you feel lighter. And I think, so you said the distress, I think the mental health. One of my I'll just quick sidebar. One of my favorite things that I have that I asked for a Christmas present actually is the battery organizer.
Oh, yeah.
My personal fave.
Yes.
Only because at Christmas time can be very stressful.
Yes.
You're doing all kinds of things. You're prepping for this. You're buying this. You're going here. You're going, and I can go right there. No, got my
I
batteries.
have my batteries. Yes, I have a couple clients who are very proud of their battery pack. We keep ours in a shoebox in our closet.
But it's
so
organized. You
it's
know where
organized.
it is?
We know where
and,
it is.
And when you go there, it's not that, oh, now I have to go through. Do I have it? Do I don't have it?
Right.
So it's the stress, it's the organization. And actually, isn't the movement when you're doing organization or clutter, you know, I see it as a little bit of an exercise plan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm moving things or
Well,
putting things
I
away.
think one of the things that I tell my clients is don't bite off more than you can chew, especially if it's not something you really like to do. When they invite me in their home, they know that I like to do what I do.
Okay.
But when I'm there and I say, let's bite, in order to eat the elephant, we need to take a bite at a time. So when I talk to my clients about doing it without me, I talk to them about taking one drawer at a time, taking one cabinet at a time, and always, always pull everything out. You know, just picking and choosing and then shutting the drawer sometimes doesn't accomplish the whole decluttering thing. It's pulling it all out and only putting back in what you truly do use.
So even prior to that, you were mentioning, so if I'm starting, okay, now I'm going to say I saw the show and I'm thinking I'm going to do this get rid of my crap, declutter. What is the thought process that I need to do first, as you said? Is it starting with, you know, you read about, do you do one drawer in a bedroom chest of drawers? Do you do one area of your living room? How do I think first about getting started?
When I meet with clients, my first thing is to ask them, what is your goal? Okay. So why did you call me? What's going on? You know, what's going on in your household? And a lot of times it's, my kitchen is the hub of my home. That's first priority. I need to fix the flow of my kitchen. Or I have way too many clothes. I can't choose an outfit in the morning. I have so much clothing, I don't know where to go with it.
Wear.
And then I say, I have nothing to wear, which is ridiculous. So it's really setting a goal first. This is what I want to accomplish, and then set out to do it piece by piece. And yes, one drawer at a time, one cabinet at a time. But what's really important also is to set aside the time. Actually put it on your schedule and say, I'm going to take
block
this hour,
block
off time, just like you do for doctor's appointments and anything else on your planner, on your calendar, on your phone. Block out that time, and even set a timer if you have to. If it's really something you don't like to do, set an hour and say, that's all I'm going to do. And if you get on a roll, then keep going. But if you don't, you think, oh, thank goodness I can stop. But try not to leave yourself a big mess so that later on you think, I have to come back to this mess. You know, give yourself the time to clean up also. So,
and you help then your clients to kind of look at what would be a good time frame to block out for
if you're a
what
morning
it is they're
person,
tackling.
do it in the morning. You know, that's what I first ask my clients. What do you prefer, morning or afternoon? And then they can tell me, oh, I'm a good morning person. So I will say, well, then let's start at 9. No, I can't. I'm better in the afternoon, or depends upon their work schedule. But and really, client to client, some people can't handle more than 2 hours at a time. Especially,
I mean, and we're talking about, a lot of the older adults who are wanting to tackle things that have accumulated over a lifetime of living in their home. You know, it can be overwhelming because they have limitations also. And so, yes, I think
giving themselves a break. Just what you said about this is a lifetime of stuff. This is a lifetime of, and not thinking, well, I'm going to get this lifetime of stuff done in a week, and then I'm going to be good. So it's a long-term process, and it's an ongoing process. It's not a once and done. It's not, I'm going to do it and it's going to be finished and I'll never have to touch it again. Sorry, you're going to have to keep it up. But to me, that's a Zen thing you're doing for yourself. I'm going to, I've done this for myself, and now I'm going to continue for myself to keep it like this because I honor myself and I have, I don't want to spend time that I don't have to. I want to live, not spend it dealing with my stuff over and over.
Well, and I think, and we'll talk about like important things, but I think it's important that those folks want to find certain things that they're going to need that are absolutes, very important papers versus some other things, very sentimental. So I'm going to recap.
Okay.
So if my thought process as I'm going, okay, now I'm getting ready. My thought process is you're advising me to set my goal, whatever that might be. Could be a very larger piece that we break down, but looking at what it is I want to accomplish. I want to know that I want to accomplish it, right?
Yes.
Not what I should do or,
Not
you
should.
know.
No shoulds. No shoulds.
Think about a block of time to give myself that time to work on that project. Know that it may not be accomplished in that time, and then also look at the best time of day for me to begin that.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Anything else before we actually go into the beginning of the practical piece? Anything else I should be thinking about first?
If you want someone to come in and help you, I know a lot of people say their family members are not the person to bring in, but sometimes they are the person.
Okay.
Sometimes they get along just fine, or you have a friend, I call it a body double, someone to just help bounce ideas off of. Why do I have this? Do I need this? And talk it over with somebody. But don't invite someone who's going to tell you what to do. Invite someone who's going to ask you questions.
Okay.
Not tell you, oh, you don't need this. But how do they know you don't need that? You need to ask someone who's going to do a back and forth. And if there isn't anyone, then use yourself. Ask yourself those questions.
And that's what I was going to say. So whether I have somebody or not, in looking at beginning to do that in an organized way, I believe that there are certain breakdowns, right, of those questions.
Yes.
Do I need it? Will I use it? So
When's
why don't
the
you share
last-
some
okay,
of those things
so-
that I should be like, I can almost use it as a checklist
Yes.
as I get to this drawer
Right,
or
right.
as I get to these junk drawers in the
Yes.
kitchen or
Yeah.
wherever I start.
Yeah.
I'm going to always think certain things
Right.
probably in my mind, right?
And I want to tell anyone who is, I would say anyone over 60 can trust their judgment as to whether they're going to use something or not.
Okay.
They'll pull something out and say, well, I haven't used this in 5 years.
Yeah.
But will I? Now, if you haven't used it in 5 years, I think you can trust your judgment in knowing you're probably not going to need that
Okay.
for now, put that aside.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't something that if you put it aside, it's gone forever. When you put it aside, if all of a sudden it really makes you uncomfortable and you're thinking, maybe I'm thinking of a way I could use that, you can always bring it back in. But when you really think about as we get older, we can trust our judgment whether we're going to need something or not. Okay.
So one of the questions is, I haven't used it for
how many years?
Is there?
Oh, I say
period of time?
2.
Okay.
I say 2 years.
Okay.
But then I also say to my clients, if you're out in your garage and there's a snowblower there and it hasn't snowed for 2 years, you don't get rid of your snowblower because it's an expensive thing. Often when we're going through drawers, the things are very inexpensive and cheap, and we can probably replace it. But so it's not 2 years is kind of a guideline.
Okay.
Do I need it? Have I used it?
Okay.
If it's a sentimental thing, that's a whole different category.
Right.
If it's a sentimental thing, I tell my clients, err on the side of keeping it if it really does bother you to let it go. It's not worth having regrets. Okay. So, have I used it? How long has it been since I used it? Do I really need this? Or does it belong somewhere else? You know, is it not belong in this room?
Okay.
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 Oh, that's where that is. I meant to have that in the bathroom. So,
Yes.
and that's one of my no-nos. Don't go to the bathroom and put it in the bathroom, because then you'll end up organizing the bathroom.
Yeah,
Okay?
that would be my
Right,
problem.
Right. That's called So that's called getting my clients lost. They're in their house somewhere, and I'm thinking,
Exactly.
where did they go?
Exactly.
So we don't leave the room.
Okay.
That's the pile for other rooms in the house kind of pile.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. So we've got, as we decided, so we've set our goal. We've got our time. We're ready, to go. We've pulled out where we want to be, the drawer, whatever. We're going to ask ourselves as we're looking at the items, have I used this for the last 2 years, or how long has it been? Do I need it? And then does it belong here? So am I, as I'm asking those things, and I'm making those decisions,
Right.
I'm putting them on piles. Is
Piles,
that what you're
yes,
recommending?
yes.
Okay.
This can go, you're going to have a pile for trash.
Okay.
You're going to have a pile for this belongs in another room. You're going to have a pile for donate.
Okay.
And then you also might have a pile for, I think maybe I should ask my
Okay.
brother, sister,
Yep.
son, daughter, whether they can use this. Okay? And the first rule of asking if they need it, if they say no, they mean no.
Okay.
Okay? So if they really don't need it, then no, they don't need it. So you can donate that. Okay.
I think I hear a lot of folks, even in our household, that, we save it for children or grandchildren, thinking, oh, they like this, or they might like this might be worth something, this, whatever. And when we say to them,
Yeah.
would you like me to keep this? I'll put it aside for you. And they
Yes.
say no, and you say, okay. That
Yes,
is,
no
I
means
like
no.
that. That is
Yeah.
the answer, because
Yeah.
otherwise,
Yeah.
that after you're gone, they are going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
do something with it. Put it on one of those other piles.
If it's still useful to someone else,
Okay.
try and get it to someone else. When you do ask them, they say no, and you can get it to someone else. My biggest joy is taking my clients' stuff to places that really need
Yep.
it. And my clients, are happy to give it. If they can find a home
Absolutely.
for things they don't need, that's huge. Because very often they know they don't need half of this stuff, but it's useful, and I
Yes.
don't want to throw it away. I don't want
Yeah.
to put it in
Yeah,
a
trash.
landfill.
Yep.
And that, the landfill
Yeah.
is the last resort. Sometimes trash is trash, but if it's not, there's plenty of folks out there that could use your unused stuff.
All right, so we are pulling these out, asking us those questions, putting them in the pile that says, ask family or friends, haven't used it in a while, probably won't. Sentimental area, so
Sentimental,
you're making
yeah.
piles as we do that.
Yeah, and then only put back in what belongs, I don't want to say belongs there, but it's when you're calling a drawer in your kitchen that you're always very close to. That's prime real estate. So you want to really make sure that what's in there is useful, it's for that area, and only that stuff, not something that belongs in the upstairs bathroom kind of thing. And then you were also talking about important documents.
Yeah, and we'll get that, but I one of the things that I did want to mention, is there anything about, I have a friend who, one in, one out.
Okay.
So, I look at some of the bakeware and sheet pans and things, and I've been using them
Yeah.
forever.
Right.
And I just should get new ones. And when you do that, and you bring them home and put them in the same cabinet,
Yeah. You take
the other ones
out
still are
the
sitting
old
there.
ones. Yeah.
So is that true? Is that a
Right.
good plan too, to kind of say,
Absolutely.
I'm planning on replacing it,
Absolutely.
but I forget to
Yeah.
take out the other one.
Yeah, and often when you don't actually forget, you look at it and you say, "Oh, I've used that for so many years." I can picture myself putting cookies on there. Okay, if you bought a new one,
It's sentimental.
please do yourself and your the people who are going to clean out your home a favor and let it go. It doesn't necessarily have to be in very, very good shape, because a lot of folks might use those things for crafts and not essentially food.
Yeah.
So they might
All right.
want to put something yucky on it and
Yes.
make it's
Okay.
going to make it gross anyway. So don't think that it might not be,
Oh, that's good.
donatable.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
In that way.
Okay.
Okay.
So we've got that. We've looked at drawers.
But you're right, one in, one out. It's a
Okay.
really good thing to practice, because very often that they take it and we'll put it in the garage. And then the garage becomes the repository of delayed decisions about whether we want to get rid of something or not. And then you clean out the garage in the summer. So, and that's okay, but I would suggest have a Goodwill or donation box by the door or out in the garage.
Okay.
Put it in there.
Okay.
Leave it in there.
Okay.
You know, if you want it back, you can bring it back.
Sure.
But if the box fills up and you lost track of it and you didn't need it, take the box.
So as we're doing this, then our piles. So how do we go from now our piles, and we've put back in what it is we've decided that's going to be
Right.
in that place and in that drawer. So I don't want piles.
Right, right.
So how soon thereafter
Yeah.
should I be either donating a pile, giving it to,
The donations, like I said, can stay in a donation area,
Okay.
like away from your main living area, trying to do that. The pile that you think you want to give to somebody else or talk to somebody else, I've had a lot of my clients will be taking pictures of it and sending it. Do you want this?
Oh, okay.
You know, that's a good way to immediately know.
Okay.
If you don't want to do that or you can't do that, put it toward the door that it's leaving, because it's either going to be given to that person or donated. So it's it's not going to stay in your house. So that also goes out in the garage or out in the car to deliver it, whatever. Trash goes in trash. Here's the pile for the rest of the house. Now I'm going to go and deliver my stuff for the rest of the house. Okay.
What's your thoughts on those sentimental items? And that's a wide range,
It's a wide
from parents keeping children's, a 3-year-old, when they made a little finger thing
Yeah,
at a
right,
daycare
right,
center,
Start taking pictures of them and letting them
okay.
go.
Okay.
Putting them, keeping them on your phone,
Okay.
or just out of the myriad of what you have, keep a few. If it's extra hard and you've never gotten rid of anything, keep it at least contained in one spot.
Okay.
So that when folks come in to see what you have and are able to discern what is this, oh, this looks like it's everything from grade school on up. But if you're looking to really pare back and you like to just look at pictures, then take pictures of it.
So now that we've done that, how would you suggest things like that, in storage or whatever? We want to keep some things that aren't immediate use. They're not, our clothing or our, things like that, but we're keeping things. We want to be organized about what we're
Right.
keeping.
Yes.
We buy containers.
Yeah.
Just a tip or two on
Yeah,
that?
you can. If you're, I would say anybody who's over the age of 75 or 80, we're not storing anything anymore.
Okay.
What are we storing it for?
Right. Okay.
Okay, if there's a few decorations and stuff, I get that. But storing it for later is just accumulating clutter that you're probably not going to
Yeah.
use.
Okay.
And but if you're going to be storing it in an attic or a basement that's not temperature controlled, plastic container,
Okay.
lid on it, I always like opaque, but always shop in your own house first. See what you have.
Okay.
See what you already
So
have.
we've forgotten that's in that container.
Shop in your own house.
Okay.
Look for containers that you have sitting around. And it doesn't have to be a perfect container. It could be a Tupperware container in one of your cabinets that I haven't used that Tupperware container in years. I used to use it for this thing that we used to take to so-and-so's house. Use the Tupperware container,
Okay.
to hold things.
Okay.
Tupperware is a great thing unless you're not using it, And so
Exactly.
use what you have first before you buy any more plastic, before you put any more plastic in this world. We don't need any more plastic.
All righty.
So shop in your own home.
Okay, and then let's switch to, some of those things that we do want to store, that we want to know areas. Let's finish with the important documents. So
Okay.
as I'm thinking, a lot of us at the Area Agency on Aging, when we're talking to older adults, they want to make sure they have key documents,
Okay.
the important documents, whether it's the mortgage deed, the will, the living will, the power of attorneys,
Right.
whatever those documents are, what
Right.
is the best way? Where do we do it? Where do
Okay.
we put it? If
Okay.
you can give us those tips quick.
I guess there's really no best way.
Okay.
But it's designate one place, not everywhere. If some's over here and some is over there, some's upstairs in my bedroom, in my end table, somebody
Yes.
gather
Okay.
all of the paperwork, and then determine of that paperwork what is most important. I need to make sure, I'm sure that you actually could provide a list for them. These are the documents that you should have in your homes that are readily available to your power of attorney or whoever is going to help settle your estate. I would say that's that one home. Is it a box? Is it a little file box? Is it a drawer in a desk? One home for
Okay.
everything, okay? And then designate by file what exactly it is. This is where my wills are. This is where the insurance is. This is where, do I have a safe deposit box? Where is it? Where's the key? Is there a safe in the house that should be open? And where's the key to that? Where's the combination to that? We run into that all the time. There's a safe, but who's got the combination? Who's got the key?
Yeah.
So that information, anything that someone needs to know about you if you're not around.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
One last tip before we sign off. Anything to
I would say
ultimately,
medications is a big
Okay.
one.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
expired medications.
Okay.
I know when you go to your doctor again, they might give you another prescription. And so this prescription's no good anymore. Push that aside. Get those into another home, not amongst the
Well, and the other
medications
thing that
you
I think
currently
about
take.
is, we bought something, maybe over the counter, for an ache, an ailment,
Right.
a cream for an arm, something, and now we have half of it left. It's expired 2 years ago.
Yes, yeah.
Get rid of it, and I will say is there are certain ways to get rid of it that we'll be sharing on a later show.
Wonderful.
As far as some good
Wonderful.
means to get rid of
Yes.
medications.
Yes,
So.
yes, especially I take a lot of things to the state police, drop off medications in there. But try and keep the old medications away and then go through them often, once
Yeah.
a month, just to make sure that I'm not using something I shouldn't use. Is it expired? And prime real estate, where do I make sure I can take it every single day?
And that helps too to keep
Yes,
us
and not on a cluttered counter.
in
Clear
line
that
in doing
counter
that.
space.
All righty. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much. I think that there's so much more that we could certainly talk about. You have so much knowledge about, helping all of us to kind of be stress-free in our abilities to declutter and organize ourselves and our home. And so I want to thank Vali Heist of the Clutter crew for being here and sharing those bits of information for us. And certainly if you want more information, you can call our agency, the Berks County Area Agency on Aging, at 610-478-6500. And thanks for tuning in to Aging Matters.